Alright, and we are live. So, what's up, guys? Hi, I'm Christopher T-Rex Moore. I run Typo House. That's why I have all the equipment. So what this is going to be, a Let's Play slash podcast thing. This is multiplayer, too, isn't it? So we can both play.
It is. Also, hi, I'm James.
Yeah. So James is going to be joining me today. I don't... Here, actually, let me bring the chat up. So, if anyone happens to hop in the chat, we might say hello, and we might not. Depends on how into the game we get.
Yeah, it depends on if we're looking or not.
Yeah. So, while we were setting this up, this is a Konami game, right?
Unfortunately, yeah.
I mean, that's not necessarily a bad thing.
It's fortunate in this time period, but...
Yeah. So, do you know if the Konami code works in this? Because that's what the Konami code started in Contra, wasn't it?
Yeah, actually, the Konami code started in the first game because they couldn't test anything.
It was incredibly hard.
Yeah. So that was the invention of that. Yeah, I have no idea. I actually haven't put much time into this game. Let me try it, though.
So, do you remember the Konami code?
I just want to see if I can.
All right.
I think it's up, up, down, down, left, right. A, B, start?
Select? Or is it select start?
I don't remember.
Also, am I going to play?
I don't know.
I mean, I don't have a controller, so.
I only have 2 lives. I don't think it worked.
Is it on that screen, or is it like in game?
Let's try select start, because I don't think you can do it in this one. I don't think it does anything.
Also, is it BA or is it AB?
I don't know.
We're terrible gamers. Also, if you haven't noticed, we are on the Super Nintendo Retro. What's it called?
This is the Snes Classic.
Oh, Snes Classic, yeah.
Super Contro. It's looking like it's not the Konami code, but there's stuff that helps. You get like 10 lives.
I mean,
player. It says player 2 specifically here too.
Okay, so you might have to get me a controller and do it. That's something we really should have done before. We sat down and hit start on everything. Is it the other controller in here? Or? All right, let me mute your mic.
Keep them entertained.
All right, you're off. All right, so for all of you who are in here, which is absolutely none of you, and all of you who will watch this on YouTube, which I believe will actually be absolutely none of you again, but I'm going to keep talking because this is a good practice for me. So, the reason we wanted to do this is something we've actually been wanting to do for a while. We just never got around to it because I bought all this equipment to stream Super Smash Brothers, and I travel a lot for Super Smash Brothers, so we never actually got a chance to sit down and do this. But it's a new year, and we wanted to start a couple of new projects. As you can tell, I'm actually dressed to work out. It's because me and James are trying to get fit for the new year kind of thing, so we've been doing that. And then the other thing is, of course, we're doing this. We're doing our Let's Play slash podcast, and we'll see how things play out. This is, quote-unquote, the pilot episode. We'll see how good of chemistry me and James have, even though we've been friends for years. We might also have other people join us in future episodes. I do have another mic, and I might also buy another mic. You can unmute yourself. You know how to do that, right? You're one. Alright, and the other reason I wanted to do this was to have an excuse to teach James how to run all of my equipment, so we could do that. So we're gonna try again on Contra 3, right?
Yeah.
Alright.
Do you still want to do the codes, or?
I mean, we'll see.
It seems
because I feel like we're gonna need some extra lives if we're gonna be playing through this. And is it?
Oh, yeah.
Can we only do it once, or is it? Can we do it as often as we need to?
Keep talking.
All right. I was just looking. So the other thing is, I've never played Contra 3, at least. I feel like I've played 1, because I know what the Konami code is.
You probably played 1 in computer class in high school,
Maybe not computer class. Oh, God. I feel like I played it on, like, emulators and stuff. And I didn't say emulators, because those aren't legal. We don't encourage that. We only encourage official releases of games here at Typo House.
Supposedly, as long as you own the game, it's okay. But
yeah,
there's debate about that.
And the other thing, I don't know how bad Konami is about the music from Contra, because that's one thing that'll get like videos taken down a lot is the music. So
I'm sure they still have the license. While
I imagine they would
just to control it. Yeah.
All right.
Dirty greedy. Okay.
No, I think
okay.
that's yeah.
All right. I want to try the one that says player 2, and hopefully that's not literally just you get 10 lives and I don't.
What is 2A and 2B?
I don't remember. Different types of game modes, I guess.
Right.
One might be you take turns and the other one might be together.
Okay, well, I would definitely prefer the co-op. Also, someone hopped in the chat. Hi, friends, love you, says hello. So, for those of you who are in here right now, I apologize. So, again, this is going to be more of a Let's Play type thing, a little bit more podcasty, so we probably won't be paying as much attention to the chat as other streamers would be. Maybe in the near future we'll have another guy in to do that stuff and interact, but me and James are going to, try and just be talking to each other and enjoying the game more. So, what code did you just put in?
The 10 lives player 2? I don't see 10 lives. That's a lie.
So I don't know what any of the buttons are.
Me neither.
Okay,
well, I know jump and shoot.
Alright, so I started with, what is this, X button, so I'm switching between something. I don't know what these are. Are these different kinds of guns?
I haven't played this game in forever, dude. Like,
And
I don't know, I really don't know what these birds are for.
I don't either.
I got a shield.
Also, I hit the A button, and there was a bomb symbol.
Oh, I should have given you that bomb.
Yeah, I'm assuming that's what the A button does. I'm assuming that's a scream wipe.
Yeah. Okay, we win. Oh, God.
Oh, I didn't know you could duck. And I tried to run away from it, and I could not.
I didn't either. I just kind of instinctively hit down.
I should have tried to jump over it, but I was like, oh, what's the jump button?
Oh, you fire faster if you
Just crouch?
No, just mash the button.
Oh. Just mash it as opposed to holding it down?
Yeah, don't hold it down. You fire
Oh,
slower.
what is why is the miss? Oh, they're homing missiles. Okay. Also,
I can't remember if those are good or bad. To be
now I
honest.
have a laser.
That's
looks kind of
bad.
short, yeah. So one of the nice things about this controller that I just noticed was they did think at least one thing through. You can hold down the button and jump. That is something that isn't available in some games sometimes. Like, I feel like in some of the Mega Man X games, you can't hold the charge button. Also, I am dead, so I definitely did not have 10 lives.
This is nerve-wracking.
God. Nerve-wracking because you're bad at the game, or nerve-wracking because you have to talk and play the game?
Nerve-wracking because it's been a long time since I've actually competently played a game like this.
Yeah. Well, see, that was
high school.
That's one of the other misconceptions about Let's Plays and podcasts where you're talking about stuff.
Oh,
sometimes you don't necessarily have to be good. You just have to be entertaining. It doesn't look like you're hitting anything.
I'm trying to inch towards
just inch. Yeah.
The weak spot.
I don't think. Yeah. I was gonna say I don't think you can get it from there.
I did find out if you hold down R, you can.
Oh, that's cool. So you can kind of strafe kind of thing. Also, that definitely did not look as hard as you were making it.
No, I'm just nervous.
Yeah. Don't be nervous, okay?
Not that. This game is
oh, just nerve-wracking?
Like, because I'm not used to this crap just coming off screen anymore. Games don't work this way anymore.
I mean...
some do, but not as often as it was in the past.
Well, that's because games have evolved since then. Like, this is an arcade classic. When's the last time you played an arcade game? Also, is that tank invincible? Can you just, roll over stuff?
It looks like it.
One shot, that's great. Also, so again, there's only 2 of us, and we're not as practiced at this as we could be. Do I just never get to come back? Can I just hit start or select?
Try.
Okay. I think I hit right trigger and I came back. Can I hop in with you?
Jump on top and hold R though. Like R to. Yeah.
Oh, okay, I got you.
Yeah.
There we go.
I'm gonna get you killed. What the? God dang it!
I guess that's there to get rid of the tank.
I had a game plan and everything.
So again, I think R I can just hop back in because this is a Nintendo game, right? It would be unfair if your little brother died and he was just done for the rest of the night.
No, they didn't care about your little brother back then.
Yeah.
Little brother had to trial by fire. Oh god. Oh god.
Okay, I definitely could not jump over it, and I'm dead again. You may have just gotten enough points for me to get a 1-up or something.
I wish I knew.
Because I am hitting all the buttons, and I am not coming back. So, yeah, this is what we're doing tonight. Slash for a little while.
We're not gonna stick with Contra though. We're gonna.
We might.
Around.
Who
Oh god.
knows?
We're gonna give it a few tries.
Give it a few tries.
But oh god, what is this? Okay.
Oh, you're just trying to figure out how to climb?
Yeah, because I was holding up. I guess you can't shoot and move.
Yeah. Is there?
Look at this. Like, would you want to?
Well, I guess it makes sense why you can't shoot and move, because he's going hand over hand. It'd be pretty difficult to go hand over hand with only one hand. Don't want to lose your grip. Oh, look at that. So what you feeling, James? You feeling continuing us getting bodied?
Let's.
Or you want to give another game a go?
We'll give this a couple more tries.
All right. So
everything is start.
Thankfully, right? For those of you who are still with us, and I feel like this is going to be like a very bad like podcast / YouTube video later on because we keep doing stuff like, at least we get to continue from where we're from, right?
This is just like a worse missile. It's bad. Oh yeah, the tank, right? No, not worse. Fire. The tank was back there. Not bad.
Yeah. But yeah, so like I said, this is a pilot kind of thing. We don't know what we're talking about, and we both
so small.
Yeah, we're phenomenal at video games, James. All right, I think that's what hit you, right?
It's Konami's fault.
Well, you know what?
Everything's Konami's fault.
Oh, okay.
That was your fault.
That was my fault. I was gonna say I think we can shoot them, and okay, I respawned. I don't know again if it was the button I hit or
Are they gone?
maybe I just get one continue. But I was gonna say while we were hanging on that thing, one of us can shoot, and then the other one can like go, because I think you might be able to shoot the.
So bad. Like I didn't used to just inch my way forward in these games. I would actually just kind of. What the?
We're great. This is so much fun, James. I'm glad we're doing this. So
we got 3 more.
Go. So again, what's the difference between A and B?
What are you talking about?
Like the 2A, 2B.
Again, I think one is just you take turns. The other one is this, which I definitely think this is better.
Okay, I'm glad to know that still works. No, it's not letting me do it. Oh, I think it might be a distance off screen thing, because I can rapid fire while it's going off screen, but now I have to do that.
How did I do that? Did like a ledge jump there. No, not again. Okay, go. I'm playing it safe.
Nah, man. Balls to the wall. Gotta go.
Oh. I'm just doing what you did last time.
Being impatient?
This is a good plan. Ouch. Did I get you killed?
I think you did because the screen scrolled when I jumped. I'm a little upset.
Are we old or are games just easier?
Games are definitely easier nowadays. So I feel like there's actual like legitimate reasons for that too. Because especially as video games have become a more like mainstream thing, and their target audience gets older and older. Like, how often do you sit down and play video games nowadays? I'm assuming
a couple hours every, couple days or something like that.
Yeah, so it's not as often as it used to be. Where am I going? Is the boss gonna spawn? Okay. But they have to make games easier and more accessible to play in short bursts.
Hit it in the shiny part.
I was trying.
Yeah, I think that's all you have to do. Get hit by the bullet that's smaller than like anything else on the screen.
So I definitely looked right to look at the stream, and I was like, "Oh, I'm still alive." And I looked back, and it still said "game over." I forgot there was a delay. Oh. All right. So how many continues do we have left?
We have one more after this, I think.
So we're gonna call it after that, or?
Yeah, I think that's a fair rule of thumb.
Yeah. All right. So other than just talking about the game and the little bit I was talking about, like making games more accessible and like being able to feel that like sense of accomplishment after like an hour or two, like having that mission where you can feel like you accomplished something, because it's super hard for people who have work, a wife and kids, school, stuff like that, to like sit down and play games and get lost for a couple hours, like the Skyrims or stuff like that. So I feel like games being easier isn't necessarily a bad thing. What I do have problems is microtransactions and stuff like that.
Oh yeah. Don't get me started.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like this is the good place to get started on it, James.
I know. That's just a joke.
But
trust me, I could talk all night about that garbage.
Oh my. All right.
This part sucks.
Also, iframes, man. Iframes. Gotta abuse them, right?
I don't think you have any in this one.
You do on Respawn.
It's not many. Like a couple.
Dude, I thought I died again in that screen scroll.
bombs. Hey, we should use those every now and then. I remember when like Gradius and Darius and all these ES shooters taught me to use screen wipe bombs like that. Good stuff. I'm terrified. Like I see the attack, I don't know if the attack's gonna move, so I just kind of freak out.
Also, you guys probably aren't familiar with Dogi, but Dogi's like one of my old buddies. He used to play Melee. He was pretty good back in the day.
Sounds familiar.
He's retired now though, and now he just wants to drop into my chat and stream and say things or not say things. It's up to him.
Is he in there?
Yeah, he's saying Contra III. He's excited.
You shouldn't be. We're terrible.
We are terrible.
Oh, okay.
So do we have to pick the same start point, or?
You don't have to, but you can. This is a split screen section. It's like a top-down thing.
Okay.
It's pretty interesting.
So what are the benefits of splitting up and staying together?
You're together.
Okay.
Watch each other's backs like action hero movies in the 90s.
So, all right, I'm gonna click there,
Sure.
and I'm gonna see if we stay together.
Pretty
All
sure
right.
we do. This is weird. I think you use L and R to turn.
So
Yep. This is awful.
Oh.
Oh my god.
And
Holy crap.
It is beta crouch, and I am already dead. So we're really bad.
Oh, you can hit it twice to move faster. This is.
Oh, I
horrible.
respawned. I didn't realize I was gonna respawn. Can you jump?
No, you can crouch. But you can't turn. All you can do is crouch. I don't know if that dodges bullets or not though.
Crouching?
Mm-hmm. No clue.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I just thought about this. I don't know if you'd be interested, but we could maybe one day do Diablo 3 couch co-op. Damn it.
So, I have very mixed feelings about Diablo in general, because my only experience with Diablo is getting like rushed through Diablo 2, so I could do the quote-unquote fun stuff. So I never experienced the story of Diablo 2, even though I understand like.
Honestly, the story is kind of negligible.
Yeah, but I never played the game. My only experience was, again, just getting rushed through stuff and like, all right, now we can run around and like do PvP. And I was like, I mean, that's cool and all, but I don't know how to play the game. Yeah.
Oh my god, I hate this level. I don't remember it being this difficult.
I mean, we're just bad. It's the thing. Also, I'm starving. What time is it? It's 7 o'clock, right?
Someone bring Chris Wendy's.
I still didn't get Wendy's. I'm a little upset. All right, so this is our last continue.
Actually, no, it's not.
Oh, you have the 0.
It's our last continue, and then we have one more go.
All right. All right. So I didn't really, because we split up immediately after we started. So I feel like there's not a lot of a point to stay together.
There's not.
All
I also don't know what the goal is of this one. So
I imagine it's to kill everything. Much.
everything respawns.
Much like arcade. Do they?
Yeah. Pretty. Okay, confirmed. You can duck bullets.
Okay. That would.
These mines.
But you can't move and duck bullets.
Well, you know, balancing, right? That does it.
So, is it? Maybe the goal is to just destroy
Oh wait, you know,
the
there's an
dudes.
arrow. There's arrows. I should follow those. That was. Oh god, I can't turn and duck.
They're
This
different
is-
fingers.
This is not. Well, I mean, you literally can't do it.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying.
And this guy's chasing me. I'm like, no, don't touch me. No.
Also, I'm assuming those are mines, and I don't want to touch them.
Pretty sure.
All right, I killed that dude. I got nukes.
I hate it. Oh yeah, forgot. You can duck and shoot though.
Yeah, that's definitely what I was doing.
Can I go back to the side scrolling? I like that. That was better.
So I died. I ran across a thing, and I thought I'd have enough time to get across. You do not have enough time to get across. Did we win? / you win?
Ugh.
Oh, it's a boss. Okay, I got you.
I got this.
And you're all by yourself. Can I?
Got this.
Also, I like how you're basically just dropping a bomb on yourself and you just stand in and it's like, no, this is fine.
It's okay. It's a video game shooter bullet hell bomb. Those don't hurt the protagonists.
This is true. God damn. It ran you over, James.
It was get up and get shot or get ran over.
So, oh, you still have another life. I was like, are we still going? So
They're so small.
I feel like this is more of a let's play type thing. Initially, we sat down and we wanted to do a podcast, right? So, all right, we're done, right? We
Yeah,
lost,
I guess we are.
We lost. All right. So, what are we gonna play now?
Something a little easier.
I feel like Super Nintendo. There's not a lot of easier games.
You'd be surprised. Castlevania IV isn't too hard. Yeah, slower.
You know, we can do whatever. So another thing, how long have we been going? We've only been going for
15 minutes.
a little bit of time. Yeah, 15 minutes sounds about right. Let's see. You know, we've been going for closer to 20. So, while you're scrolling through and figuring out what we're gonna play, let's talk about life, James. What's going on with you? It's a new year. I already told our audience that, you know, we started working out for the new year, that New Year's resolution stuff. If you guys have any resolutions, all three of you, feel free to to say something in the chat.
It's typical life stuff right now.
Yeah.
Working, sleeping.
Is this Punch Out?
Yeah.
Okay, because I saw the green glove and I was like, that's definitely Mac.
I don't know. I was feeling it. Seems like an okay thing.
Also, do you know any re-releases are no longer allowed to be called Mike Tyson's Punch Out, despite the fact the original game, because Nintendo lost the license to do that?
Yeah, they lost it. They lost the trademark to his name.
Yeah.
He owns his name again.
Yeah.
Good for him.
And also, I feel like until recently, he had never played Punch Out, because I remember there was a video, probably about a year or two, maybe longer. It might also just resurface every now and then, and just the internet forgets, but Mike Tyson's first time playing Mike Tyson's Punch Out kind of thing.
He wasn't as angry as you would expect.
Yeah. Also, they can't use his quote unquote likeness anymore for the final boss of Punch Out now, right? So they have to do a different dude.
Well, you see, that's the thing about Mike Tyson's Punch Out is that was the one America got.
Yeah.
And the reason they did that is because
Mike Tyson.
people knew Mike Tyson.
Yeah.
In the original Japanese version, I can't remember his name, but it wasn't the Sandman.
I couldn't tell you.
There's a lot of really cool characters from that first game, but it was basically just white Mike Tyson.
White Mike Tyson.
Like,
yeah.
he had a different face. He was more about, you know, looking good and showing off, and instead of just beating the hell out of you and calling it a day.
So is this a multiplayer game or is this one player?
This is not, but this is a perfect game to take turns on.
Okay.
So I'll just hand it over.
Also, we're definitely not playing Contra 3 anymore.
It's Luigi.
Let me see if I can change the title real fast. So, no longer Contra, guys. We're playing. This is Super Punch Out, right?
Yeah. It may behoove you just to call it Snes Classic Games.
I don't know if that's an option.
You just type it, right?
I mean, I can, but
Oh, I see what you're saying.
so
yeah.
for the category, if you put a specific game, like it shows that.
Yeah,
yeah,
and
it shows
people
that.
on Twitch will see
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
Whereas if you put SNES Classic, I feel like it'll get something. Also, we're not playing Contra anymore, but I can definitely change the title to say SNES Classic.
Man, those three people are gonna be very upset
Yeah, I know. They definitely came in here to only watch.
to watch people do backflips and
Yeah.
die.
Yeah. So, what are you waiting for? You can start, right? I owned the original Nintendo, and I feel like we owned Punch Out, but I don't think I ever played it. Also, that does not look like Mac. Mac does not have blonde hair.
This is Mac.
Since when has Mac ever had blonde hair?
This game only,
Really?
and it's better. You know, maybe unpopular opinion. I'm also not. It's been a long. I'm not bad at this game because it's really not even a boxing game. It's a puzzle game. But I lost my train of thought. Damn. Don't get up.
So, okay, you're just waiting for him. Okay. There was a box in the corner saying "back off, catch your breath." How do you know when you're winded or whatnot in this? Do
What?
you have to
Where? What box? What?
Oh, in the right corner, like right underneath his health bar. Also, I like how you're fighting an old man. Like,
Hey, he signed the waiver. He knows.
he knows.
He knows what he's in for.
Yeah, but there's a text box that says "back off, catch your breath."
Oh, I'm dumb.
What?
Well, how do I do?
You trying to do the super?
Yeah. Well, I guess it doesn't matter now, but.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what I was gonna say. This game only he had blonde hair. An unpopular opinion, this one's probably better than the first one. I've always liked Super Punch Out more, just because it looks and feels better.
Well, I mean, I feel like, okay, maybe not nowadays, but I feel like most sequels do try to improve on the original.
Usually.
Yeah.
That was always the goal. It wasn't always what happened, though.
Before, a lot of sequels just became cash grabs.
Yeah.
Before, people actually tried with video games.
Looking at you, Ubisoft.
Among other things, shoutouts to EA and.
No, not shoutouts.
Excuse me, shots at EA.
There you go.
There we go. That is a scary looking man.
I don't remember if I have to punch him in the stomach or the head.
Can you punch him in the head?
You. Damn it.
That is not a legal boxing move. I mean, that's fine, but when he like kind of claps you in the head, that's not legal. That's definitely not cool, man.
There we go. I'm getting it back.
Yeah.
See, you trigger him to do that, and then you just punch him in the face.
Okay.
Now, if I could figure out how to do the super punch.
Is it not the triggers or?
It used to be start in the old game.
Oh.
Yeah. Attack me now. God.
So
He was right. Attack me now.
I'm assuming it's you
Damn it.
lose it if you get hit, right? Your meter,
Yeah.
as opposed to where in Smash Brothers you only
So bad at this game now.
you only lose it if it's fully charged and you get hit. Whereas this one, anytime you get hit, you're losing meter.
Mm-hmm. He opens up, and I'm just like, I can punch him now. No.
All right, so
I'm just gonna be lame and.
just do that. Be safe, right?
Hey, it works.
I'm not sure if any of you are familiar with the saying, but especially in Georgia, when Reflex is around, we have a saying in regard to Smash Brothers. Play lame, win game. I guess it applies to Punch-Out too, and not just Smash Brothers.
Especially if you're on stream.
Oh,
I figured it out.
How do you do it?
You hit A.
Okay.
That's all it is.
And it's just like a super punch kind of thing. You keep missing. Does missing not take out your meter, or?
I guess not.
Are you sure that's the meter punch and not just a different kind of punch?
And I'm really. Oh, damn it! I'm so bad at telegraphing.
Can you dodge punches, or do you just kind of?
You can. I'm just bad at it.
Okay.
I'm catching my breath. Oh, okay. So if you mash buttons, you get more health back.
Looks like you might have to work on that mash.
I don't do it in Smash Brothers, so.
You should really do it. So there was a joke when the game first came out about Smash Ultimate being a game that tests your mashing skill, especially with the ground and move and like the roller and K. Rool's down throw and what is it, down tilt with the
Down tilt, down throw.
Yeah, the stomp.
Especially the tilt, though, apparently.
Yeah. And then people are saying that rotating the stick is better for quote unquote mashing out now, when I feel like it was better in the past ones too. But I don't, even though we're technically a Smash Brothers stream and a Smash Brothers tournament stream, which is why people probably aren't tuning in right now, but that's okay.
Kind of trying to branch out a little bit.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I like to do new things, and like I said at the top of this is a new project. This is something we'd like to do more of, and not necessarily it just be a Let's Play kind of channel, even though that's something I'm definitely interested in. But
one thing I do like about this game is, even though it's not like super well animated because it's a Super Nintendo game, it definitely feels. Oh, I blocked. Oh, okay. Okay, I got it. Got the rhythm.
So you're saying something about well animated?
The fights feel good.
The fights feel good.
They also, I feel like they look good too. I don't really know though.
I mean,
got 'em. Got you, bitch.
How good can you look on a Super Nintendo?
Pretty good.
It's true.
Like there's some games, man. Like Super Mario RPG is one really good looking game.
Yeah. Well, so that's another thing. Like stylized artwork, I feel like always ages very well. But when you try and do stuff like super realistic, it doesn't always age well. Like take something like Final Fantasy VII. At the time, like the graphics were amazing, but as time has gone on, it is not great looking. Because you remember like the first time you played anything in 3D, right? Like just the shiny newness of it. It's like, no, this looks great. This is cool. And then time moves on. Like even Mario 64. Like when's the first time you played a Mario game in 3D? It was that game, and people were like, no, this is great. This is cool. And again, not really aged well.
Yeah, for better or for worse, I would say. Like, oh god,
Good dodge. Lucky dodge.
I'm getting better.
Yeah.
The more I actually pay attention, and
So can you throw different punches, or is it just kind of where
low
you're
and high, pretty much.
All right. So is it different buttons, or is it where you're standing?
He goes high first,
Okay.
and I always get mixed up on it.
So if you ever got in a fight, would you aim for the face more, or would you aim for the body more?
I aim for the balls.
Oh, yeah, that's true. we fight dirty. But
I
you
don't have
know,
the meter.
if you ever felt like a boxer, you think you'd be like the power puncher, always going for knockout blows. You'd be the outboxer kind of guy, like working the body, wearing him out.
Well, from our sparring matches, what would you think? Got you in the jaw a few times.
Yes, but how many of those were intentional?
I mean, I was aiming high.
That's true.
I just didn't know if I was gonna land.
Well,
So yeah, the face. I would aim for the face.
Oh, you know,
People are scared to get hit in the face, man.
people are very scared to get hit in the face.
Even the angry ones.
What is? I can't remember who it is, but there's a quote: "Everyone has a plan until they get hit." Yeah.
In the face.
Yeah. Is that the full quote, or are you just adding that in?
I mean, yeah. I mean, that's
Yeah.
where you get hit, and then you just stop thinking. You're like,
Well, I mean, it depends on how hard you get hit too. I feel like if you get hit in the gut hard enough, you're not gonna be thinking very clearly either, getting the wind knocked out of you.
Luckily, we've been trained to get hit in like the leg and the side.
Didn't really keep up with that though, did we? Because I know I definitely cannot take a hit like I used to.
Anyone attacks me on the street, I got their number.
You got their number?
I'm so
With our
bad.
crippled old selves?
Got him. That's how you get him right there.
Did he just have like a weak mash?
Keep forgetting about that.
Get that health back, man. You're wasting so much time. Look, that was, what was it, 5 seconds? You could have had like a full health bar.
No. Honestly, what you get back is so negligible in comparison to,
How much damage do they do?
yeah.
Yeah.
So it really doesn't matter. I mean, if you're already pretty high up, maybe. Damn it.
See, you could have avoided that knockout blow if you were mashing earlier. So I'm assuming you have to mash to get back up too?
Yeah.
Alright.
Pretty, took me a second to get back in. Oh, you bitch. Do your stupid bull rush things, that way I can OKO you. Go over there.
You call it OKO? Not OHKO?
OHK. Yeah, I guess you're right.
I get, or you could also just say the OKO, because that's a thing.
It worked the first time pretty well. This is always the first wall for people.
This dude.
Yeah. Actually, I don't know.
Mash. Mash. Oh,
Yeah,
he did not stay down long at all. Oh, did he just take out like 3/3 or 3/4 of your health bar?
It's a one hit. It's a one hit thing.
What are you supposed to do?
Hit him or dodge.
Also, so TKO's that's supposed to be the count out, right? No, I don't want to play.
Like, I ain't embarrassing myself on stream, no.
I mean, it's not even that. It's just, you know, not my kind of game. I'm here to talk. I brought the equipment, and I'm here to be mildly entertaining. You're here to lose at games. So one of the things we were talking about when we were out for our run earlier is I was going to ask you just questions about your life and see which one suffered more, your gameplay or your speech. So, James, how long have we known each other?
let's see, it's 2008, 12 years?
12 years?
Sounds right.
It's 2019 now, that new year. So it's 11 years.
There we go.
Yeah.
Did the rush.
So how did we meet?
I don't really, I can't actually pinpoint it, to be honest.
So what's your earliest memory of me then, if you can't remember how we met?
You're some creeper on a bus saying like, hey, I got one of those chain. Like I had a chain on my because I was like one of those dumb emo kids.
Same.
No
well,
offense to
okay,
dumb
I
emo
wasn't
kids.
an emo kid. I was.
No, you were. You wore trip pants. You were.
No, that was the goth kid thing.
You're half-ass goth.
Yeah, I really just like the pants. They're really comfortable.
They were neat.
Yeah.
But yeah, I didn't have trip pants, so I just had like a chain on my wallet or something.
They were stupid expensive for no reason. It was like $7 for a pair of pants.
I haven't seen trip pants in a long time.
Well, it's because like Hot Topic and stuff closed down for a while, and then they're definitely not the style anymore. Like in high school, they were like new and shiny and all the rage, but now people just make fun of you. I'm glad I grew out of that phase.
Me too.
But again, they were comfortable, and I always had space to hide like my Game Boys and stuff like that. It was great.
I really wanted some because that was like the cool thing in high school.
Oh, okay. Depending on your definition of cool.
Well,
in our circle, the
I said high school.
The
Oh yeah, okay, yeah,
yeah,
no, you're
yeah.
right.
Because I feel like the Hollister, like the American Eagle stuff was like the cool people, and we were just
The timing on that is so.
we were the weird kids in high school. And by the weird kids in high school, we're still definitely a little weird. We just adapted a little bit better than some.
30-year-olds who play video games.
Again, I feel like video games are very much just an norm. All right.
I know.
So
It's called self-deprecation. Get used to it.
Yeah. Yeah. I keep
just got
making
one
similar
more shot.
jokes, especially about our viewership right now. But I feel like even if you are being self-deprecating, there is a point where it's no longer funny and it just gets a little bit grating, especially when it's constantly brought back to.
What always gets on my nerves, and it's only like one or two people in my life because I'm not usually too bad about it. I used to be a lot worse.
Are you getting health back every time you hit him?
No.
All right, because it looks like your bar moves.
I wish, but got him.
Yeah,
What
it
was I
definitely looks
saying?
like you're getting health. Not every time you hit him, but sometime when you hit him. But I guess you're not paying too much attention to your own health like that. But anyway, you were saying something about people in your life and stuff
Oh
like
yeah,
that.
there's a couple of people in my life who's like, oh, you stop making fun of yourself. Like I'll say like one joke is like, you shouldn't talk about yourself that way, and like, dude, I'm just joking, man. Like I don't actually think I'm a loser.
Oh, well,
I know I'm a loser. There's see.
So I'll make that joke. It's because you talk down about yourself a lot, especially when we're around each other. But I'll make the joke, oh, you shouldn't talk about yourself like that, even when you're not making fun of yourself kind of thing. And for us, that is a joke, and that is a back and forth kind of thing. But the people who are like serious, it's a little bit strange to say this, but it's nice to have those kind of people in your life because that means they care about you.
And honestly, some of those people are like some of the best players in the world in all sorts of different games.
Oh, the ones
people
who-
that you would call losers. Come here. It's so hard to land that.
So I definitely lost that train of thought. What do you mean, like, you just talking about the people who talk down about themselves or some of the best players in the world?
Yeah, sometimes.
Okay, I see where you're coming from now. I was confused for a second. I thought you were talking about like the people who are talking down to you. I was like, what do you?
I mean, those people too sometimes.
Yeah.
Not often though. Definitely not. LTG.
But so since you brought up like best players in the world and stuff, very rarely have I met like a quote unquote top player at their game and them have been not a nice person or like the kind of in your face kind of attitude. Because I feel like if you're a top player at something,
We're just gonna.
Yeah. you understand what it's like to work hard on something, and if you're a top player, you have to know how to present yourself. Because, okay, so obviously if you guys are familiar with Typo House and what I do, I see a lot of like Smash Brothers things, and one of the interesting things about Smash Brothers is a lot of our players are much younger than other games. Like if you look at like other FGC stuff, yeah, a lot of the guys are a lot older, so they have a better idea of how to present themselves. Whereas a lot of these young kids, and especially like that's one of the nice things about esports is if you're young, it's not impossible for you to be good. Like one of our better
Oh.
players in Georgia right now. What's up?
Change it to Castlevania
All right, which Castlevania?
4.
Castlevania 4.
Super Castlevania.
All right, so you said Super Castlevania. Or
Yeah.
Super.
Everything's super, so.
Castlevania 4. Alright. But one of our better players in Georgia right now, I think he's like 16, 17.
Who's that?
His name's Salt One. And for like the first 3 or 4 weeks of Ultimate, he was undefeated. Like he was beating players like Scat and Fatality. People already knew who he was because he had won like some of the Knifey Wars and a lot of other big Wi-Fi tournaments and stuff like that. But because he's so young, he doesn't get to travel outside of Georgia. And then like if you meet him in person, a lot of the stuff he says online, you know he's joking, but it's very hard to have that context sometimes. And I feel like he is actively, sometime anyway, being a detriment to his future if he wants like legit sponsors and stuff right now. Like right now, he's sponsored by a place in South Carolina. Sure, I'll name drop them. They're Fly Society. They actually have a couple like really cool events coming up in the near future. So if you guys like Smash Brothers and you're in the Georgia, South Carolina area, you should definitely check out their stuff. Z-Rick especially, he's a homie. We've worked together on a lot of stuff. I like to give him a hard time, but like a lot of guys just don't know how to present themselves because they don't know any better. Like they grew up with the internet and in the internet culture, whereas we're a little bit older. We remember a time pre-internet, and memes weren't like the mainstream culture kind of thing.
Unpopular opinion. I'm kind of tired of memes.
Well-
Like they're fine, but everything's a meme now.
I agree. I feel like that is an issue, and but you also have to remember that's just the kind of content you consume. You place yourself in the environment where memes are an expected kind of thing. Whereas if
It's almost exclusive to social media too.
yeah, but you could always exclude yourself from social media because
Which
you haven't.
I did.
Yeah, you haven't had a Facebook in forever.
And it feels great.
Yeah.
I never hear about politics anymore. It's great.
Well, that's also due to most of your friends, unless our
I
dear
guess
friend Brent
so.
is around. We do hear a little bit of politics. Not last time, but the time before that, I kind of messed with you guys. I brought something up and you guys started arguing, and I just kind of disappeared. So I instigated something, and it's like, all right, you guys have fun.
PSA earlier. I got a chicken wing. Don't ever eat wall chicken. PSA. Don't do it.
All right. It's funny. So you've watched Castlevania anime, right? Did you enjoy that?
I watched the first season. I really liked it.
Oh, the second season's out. You should really
I know.
watch
I
it.
just haven't gotten around to it.
But I remember there was an interview with the creators, and they said we tried so hard to get wall chicken in there, we just couldn't make it fit organically. Like they wanted it to be in there because they love the games and like they cared, and they wanted to make wall chicken a thing, but they just couldn't make it without it being like super jarring, and they didn't want to like destroy the narrative like that.
They probably. I don't know. They probably couldn't have gotten away with it. I would say they could just. I don't know. Put it in like a treasure chest or something. Like someone's storage or something.
Again,
here's a turkey.
Well, if
Just
you've
eat it.
watched, there's not a lot of chances for it to like come up or anything like that. But
That was almost me.
yeah, I do think if they put it in there, it would have been very jarring and taken some people out of their immersion just a little bit. But it would have been a really like nice nod to the fans. Even though I've never played a Castlevania game in my life.
Honestly, it's best to start with the Metroidvania line.
Yeah.
Like this is probably in my opinion, one of the better ones that have been made. That's just a platformer.
Okay, it definitely looked like it was still gonna hit you in the face. And I was like, "How is that fair?"
No, I
Like-
know.
Like
I mean,
you're-
it did. He's just tough.
Yeah. Also, speaking of Castlevania, man, like shoutouts to the Belmonts in Smash.
No.
Like, they may not be what you want. They may not be what a lot of people want, and they may be a very frustrating character. But it's nice to see, Smash Brothers branching out and doing these other kind of games, especially if they're not, the most popular in the world. But that goes back to like Melee, where you remember like Marth and Roy and how nobody knew what they were from in the U.S. or like anywhere outside of Japan. And that game is literally the only reason a lot of the Fire Emblem games came to America / other territories. So Smash Brothers is like a great driving force for other games. And like, if Nintendo / Sakurai / whoever comes to you and says, "Hey, can we put your character in our game?" and you say no, I feel like you're missing out a lot.
I just want to know when we get to play as the elf from Tetris.
The elf from Tetris.
It's a pretty big deal.
I feel like that's going to be a while before that happens. But, you know.
Switch 2.
Switch 2. No, I think it's going to be called Switch U.
Switch U.
Yeah. Which is a completely different conversation that I've had several times too.
For real?
No, not like the Switch U, just like the naming convention from Wii to Wii U, and how I feel like that was just a major misstep in the marketing for Nintendo.
That was it, though. Like, every other console's been pretty solid.
Yeah, I feel like if the Wii U had been named something other than the Wii U, it would have sold a lot better, because I feel like originally, especially when they announced it, like, a lot of people were confused, like, oh, because they thought it was just like the tablet is like, oh, is this like an expansion for the Wii? Is this something? And it ended up being like a brand new console. And it didn't sell very well, even though it had some very solid games, most of which have already been ported over to the Switch. So I feel like Nintendo realizes that, you know, they had a excuse me, they had a misstep, and they're trying to, you know, address it. Because even though like the Wii U didn't sell well, there were a lot of games that got ported over and that are really fun. Like
there's actually a lot of really good stuff.
Yeah, like immediately comes to mind like the Mario Kart.
I would dare actually say that the Wii U is kind of like the Nintendo's version of Dreamcast. Like, it was just a thing that came, was decent, and went. Actually, the Dreamcast was better than decent. Let's be honest.
Yeah, I think they had like another GameCube like type situation on their hand, because originally, like when the GameCube came out, that was
GameCube's a good comparison.
Like the GameCube, Xbox was coming out, and I think it was PlayStation 2, and like gaming was becoming hardcore. And the Nintendo GameCube was the purple lunchbox. Like, what was the point of the handle? So you could like carry it and bring it to your friend's house. Great idea.
I wish every console had a handle, personally.
Yeah, it would make things a lot easier, especially for people.
Especially my Switch. Yeah, that needs a handle.
Well, I mean that one's already designed to be portable. I feel like the handle isn't super relevant. But
joke, damn it.
You know, it's very frustrating for me recently. So I run tournaments for Smash Brothers. You know that. If you guys are familiar with Typo House, you know that.
Has anyone stole a Switch yet?
No, we that has not been a problem. Even though we play in Macon, and that was a major concern for me. But the big thing is, people coming to the tournament is like, hey, do you need a setup? I brought my Switch. I'm like, awesome. Did you bring your dock? They're like, no. And I was like, well, that doesn't really help us a lot. We like not having the dock means we basically can't use a Switch. Great idea. Really appreciate the thought. But next time, please bring your dock. So if you play Smash Brothers tournaments and you want to bring a setup, even if you don't bring a TV, at least bring your dock and everything you need. You know, the game, your controllers, the adapter, assuming you have one. Because apparently, you didn't get the bundle. You ordered it online, right?
Which bundle?
For Ultimate.
Yeah, just because I didn't need the bundle.
So I actually wanted the bundle because I like the dock and then the Joy-Cons. I think that's a really neat thing. I really wanted it, but I already had a Switch, so I didn't want to spend another $250.
It's a hard game.
Yeah, but it comes with a GameCube controller, right? It doesn't come with an adapter.
I thought it came with a Pro controller.
Did it? I thought.
Pretty sure it's a Pro controller.
All right.
It might be different bundles or something.
Also, when are we gonna get the GameCube controllers that just have USB ports? Like,
never.
Honestly. Like, because they brought out the new generation of the GameCube controllers, and they still have the GameCube controller adapter, but they have Pro controllers and they have USB ports in the back, and they have all these other things. When are we gonna get a USB powered GameCube controller? Like, honestly, it's about time, Nintendo.
I wonder if it just has to do with like cost effective stuff, because I don't know how they make them.
I feel like I don't think it's a cost thing. If anything, I think it's a patent thing, and that changing the design would drastically change things. But I say that I know they've made quote-unquote GameCube controllers that plug into like the Wiimotes, so I feel like that shouldn't be an issue either. Like the what is it? The Pad Pro for the Wiimotes.
The spider just shot a spider at me, Chris.
I mean, what do you expect spiders to do?
Not that.
But yeah.
Sorry to interrupt.
We've gone through like 5 different conversations, and it's mostly me just yelling at the people, right? I'm glad you're here. So when people get tired of listening to me, they can watch you play some Castlevania.
Well, there's some silly crap happening on here.
Such as?
Well, I've already avoided like 3 traps, but I didn't want to point it out because you're on a roll.
Am I on a roll? Oh, So remember when you said don't get me started on something, and it's like this isn't the place
Yeah,
to do it.
microtransactions,
Yeah,
man.
I got started on stuff, so I'm gonna keep going.
should.
Did you want to get started on anything? I can be quiet for a minute and let you talk.
No, we can talk about microtransactions.
All right,
Let
so
me
let's
tell
talk
you.
about microtransactions.
You first.
I hate them. I think they're stupid.
Why do you think they're stupid?
All right, so especially depending on the game, but obviously you see, where's Griffin? Griffin is not here. We're just chilling at my place in Middle Georgia. Griffin is probably streaming his stuff. I definitely changed the name. Okay, I'm just making sure I wasn't advertising falsely to you guys. But Griffin's what's today? Today's Thursday.
Yeah.
You don't think he's going anything because he said he was gonna stay close to home for a little while. But Griffin's probably at his house streaming, so definitely check him out if he is. If not, feel free to hang around with us. This is not Smash. You're 100% right. This is not Smash. You know, we're just hanging out. It's a new year. I wanted to start some new projects, and I wanted to always do a Let's Play channel / a podcast kind of thing, and not just do Smash Brothers. It won't be going on the Typo House main channel on YouTube, but you know, I've already built up this audience. He said he was going to local today. What's today? Thursday. He probably went to Smash Code, which means he's on Recursion. So definitely, it's 7 o'clock. They should be live right about now. So definitely check out Recursion if you're looking for some Smash Brothers. So shout outs to those guys.
This is so fair.
Oh, the frog that's
Yeah,
just destroying you.
Just make an enemy
Yeah.
impossible to hit.
I'm gonna say just do that.
It's so
The
awkward.
original Sheik. Okay, well we were talking about microtransactions
definitely don't
and
miss
stuff
that.
like that. So obviously, you see microtransactions
In everything now.
Okay, now,
Just about.
but they started in freemium games, and I feel like that wasn't necessarily a bad place for them.
No,
But
of course not.
then it became a thing of pay to win, and that's always a thing I've had an issue with. If you want me to spend money on your game, put a price tag on it so I can just buy the game and support you like that. But when you make it impossible for me to play the game without dumping like hundreds of dollars into it to play, that's not fair to me as a consumer.
What's a good example of a game that's kind of affected you? I guess.
Affected me?
Not like financially, but like I can't play this game because things.
Do you remember the Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes game that I played for like ever?
No, yeah.
Like I enjoyed the game, but I tried to, and I say tried to. I stayed free to play because I didn't believe in spending money on it. Somebody's talking about Summoner's War. Yeah, Summoner's War is another one. I played that for a while too, but I got really bored with it. I was like, well, what's the point?
I played Final Fantasy Brave Exvius, which is the same type of game. You like collect characters and level them up and stuff.
Yeah.
And I fell for the trap actually because they did this bullcrap. Like I'm guessing Galaxy of Heroes has a star system too, because that's just like the mobile thing now. See that?
Define star system.
So I have a 3-star character that's pretty average. 4-star is like okay, and then it goes all the way up to like 5 or 6.
Yeah.
So when I first started playing, 5-star was the highest. So I was like, okay, well and it was actually kind of easy to get 5 stars, and so it made it more accessible to like be good at the game.
Yeah.
Which is funny because it's literally just like a single player RPG kind of thing. But literally a month or two after I got the game, they introduced 6-star characters, and I kind of saw the trend. It was like, okay, so they're gonna make these characters impossible to get your 5-star versions of them up to 6 stars. And I actually checked the game out not too long ago, and now they have 7 stars.
So
enjoy that.
Good call. Yeah. So I can see stuff like that. One of the things that I've been playing recently, and I've gotten you to start like 2 or 3 times, is Duel Links. One hit away and you died. That's a shame. But one of the things I do like about Duel Links, I played Yu-Gi-Oh! In real life, so I'm no stranger to, the quote-unquote pay-to-win mindset, especially in a card game. But I feel like in Duel Links, they're generous enough with your gems to where you can basically get everything you want as long as you're not doing silly things and like buying old packs that have been like power crept out, even though they have some important like staples and stuff in there. But I've made like King of Games, which is the highest tier in the PvP, at least twice, and I normally stay in Legend without like having to try super hard. But I'm at least decent at card games, and I feel like doing stuff like getting King of Games or stuff like that isn't that difficult, despite the fact what people think sometimes. But so I feel like maining Simon and Richter. You wanted to main one of the Belmonts.
I wanted to main Richter because he's the cool one.
Yeah, and then you figured out you could not play him, right?
It's not I can't. He's boring.
Yeah, lots of like zoning it out and a very
There's not. It's not very interesting to just throw stuff the whole time and then. Now I don't know like the complete, but even the good players I've seen so far, it's pretty much just you wall up. And
yeah, just building your wall. But you know,
I'd rather do that with Ness.
So you have no problem playing the zoner and building your wall. You just want to do it as someone else. I got you.
I hit one move and I'm good.
Yeah.
PK fire, baby.
So I feel like zoners definitely have their place in the meta. I feel like a lot of the stages benefit the zoners right now, and that's a very unfortunate thing because I feel like that makes for like longer games and games that are a little bit more boring.
Can you explain that?
Zoners?
Like, well,
or the large stages?
Why it benefits them? Like,
okay.
what?
So when you're playing a zoner, the more stage you have to run away, the easier it is for you to set up your wall. Okay, and so once somebody breaks into your wall and you're in that position where you have to like fight with them close up, you get your one hit and then you just run to the other side of the stage, so it's easier for you to set up your wall again. Whereas on the small stages, you're just like your opponent is constantly in your face, and it's a lot harder for you to deal with it, especially when you're playing that zoning character with a lot of projectiles and stuff. Because a lot of times those zoning tools, they have lots of end lag, or they have an extended animation.
Yeah.
So it's easier to get punished. Because I used to play Duck Hunt Dog in Smash 4, and I was like, as long as I have plenty of space to run away and I can keep you out of my space, I'm winning the game. But the second you get in, I'm just getting like demolished. And part of it was Duck Hunt Dog wasn't, the greatest character in the world, especially in Wii U when people actually figured out how to move and deal with stuff, unlike in 3DS where people didn't quite know what they were doing. Because I remember in 3DS, people were like, no, man, Duck Hunt Dogs, he's gonna be great. He's like the new Snake. He has so many like traps and tools. So like, oh, I enjoyed playing Snake in Brawl, so I'm gonna give Duck Hunt a solid chance, and I did, and it was not fun for me for a while. Like I felt like I was outplaying certain people, and I was still losing just because like my multi-hit stuff wasn't hitting properly, or I was having to try way harder than they were to deal damage, even though Duck Hunt Dog is apparently pretty decent in Ultimate. Like, the can comes out frame 1, so you can constantly just mash it to trade with people, and it's pretty funny.
I will say that about Ultimate. Like, people who needed buffs definitely got buffs.
Well, there were a lot of universal buffs, and I feel like that, of course, helps the cast, like, universally.
Oh, I can crawl. I forgot about that.
But right now I'm playing Snake, and I'm getting super frustrated with the game, because I keep trying to do, like, Brawl stuff, and playing Brawl was very different than this game. So, you get hearts. What are hearts for in this?
To do that.
Okay,
it's
so
just
you
ammo,
use your
basically.
item.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
because I feel like it would make sense for hearts to be health.
Yeah,
but you're eating wall
everyone
chicken,
thought
so
that. Everyone who's ever played this game thought that.
Yeah.
I don't know why they didn't think that, but hey,
Like, I feel like anything other than a heart would have made sense. Like a stack of arrows, or just like a stack of the item you have, or whatever.
I think I might have been mistaken. Maybe RPGs would be a little easier. like yeah, I can read it, and but.
Well, and then the other thing, especially if it's an RPG you've played a lot, you don't really have to pay attention to the story. You can just kind of,
as long as you remember what you're doing.
Yeah, like if we ran through like a Pokemon, that's one reason why I wanted to do one of the Pokemon games is like our first playthrough of a game, because we all know where to go in Pokemon, right? Like
sure.
Oh, like Red and Blue kind of Pokemon, not like any of the new ones.
I don't think I've ever actually beaten Red or Blue. I got
You're joking.
No, I'm not. I got.
How did you grow up in the 90s?
With a multitude of games. That was one of them. I had Blue, and I think I got stuck on one of the gyms like halfway through the game.
It's Pokemon. All you do is just keep ramming your head against it until you win.
I have ADHD. I probably just lost interest. So I was actually in Japan at the time that Pokemon got really big in the West. So it was like 1990.
Were you here, or were you still in Japan when that happened, or somewhere else?
I think it was 98 when it got at least on TV over here.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I was watching it on TV because those cartoons are cooler than mine.
Yeah.
And they were. Oh god. But yeah, so I made it over to Japan that 1999, I think, and
So right after.
yeah.
Yeah.
And hold on, I'm trying to think about this. They kind of got me. Oh, you can hit those. All right, so yeah. Anyway, so I get to Japan. I finally get my copy of Blue. I think a few months after that, because
Was it in Japanese?
no, it was in English.
Okay, I was gonna say. Cause
Got off base.
Okay.
But I think it came out in 2000 actually, so I'm a little off. But still, that was pretty shortly after I got there. But everybody freaking loved that game.
Yeah.
You know, especially all the playground kids.
Yeah. And then the
And
other
I was
thing,
the one who like wanted to collect the Pokemon cards.
that's
because that was the
definitely
new
what I
thing.
was gonna say.
It,
Yeah.
but I didn't know how to get them because we were in Japan and on base. Everything came really slowly at that time.
Yeah.
So I would buy the Lunchables with the with the cutouts. I don't know if anybody remembers those, but they were like cutouts on the back of the box, and I would cut them out, and those were my Pokemon cards.
Yeah.
They were shitty.
The other thing I remember about like Pokemon cards was no one knew how to play the Pokemon TCG for the longest time, but
Dude.
everyone had the cards.
Speaking of, like, not to switch games on you, but that was Yu-Gi-Oh, and I lived in the freaking country where it came out. No
Really?
one knew how to play.
Okay.
No one.
I feel like at least for Yu-Gi-Oh, you knew how to play like the first season of the anime.
We didn't. Well, we did get it, but it was the weird like Air Force Network thing.
I'm
And
not
so
familiar.
it's base television, and like kids got to watch kid stuff when they said they got to watch kids. At least that's how it felt. Like I never knew when the hell, the things I cared about came on.
Yeah. But so obviously and we call it season 1 here in the US, but I believe Japan had a different season 1
According to season 1, you can play Blue Eyes with no tributes.
with no tributes. Yeah. So that's how we played Yu-Gi-Oh back in the day, like based on the rules, and nobody ever actually read the rule book until like Battle City came out, and like, wait, we actually have to learn how to play the game, like, because you know Chris Platt.
Yeah.
I remember I went over to his house and I had like a Yu-Gi-Oh deck built.
I'm a dumbass.
And I was like, "Hey man, I'm pretty good at Yu-Gi-Oh. You guys want to play?" And he's like, "Yeah." And then he was
Whooped
playing.
your
Like,
ass, didn't he?
yeah, he's like, "Okay, like we'll play by the rules." And I was like, "Oh yeah, that's fine. Again, I'm pretty good. I know how to play the game." And he's, I think I tried to summon Blue Eyes, and he's like, "Oh, you have to tribute 2 monsters for that." I'm like, "What are you talking about?"
You don't know how to play the game, is what I'm telling you.
Yeah, and then from there, it completely changed the way I looked at the game. So, so for me and my friends, it became, "Hey, are we playing tributes or non-tributes?" Which was just, "Hey, are we playing like the anime and being like stupid, or are we playing by the actual rules?" And I don't remember at what point we switched to being the rule, like the actual rules being the standard. But I'm glad we did, because I definitely got a lot of play out of Yu-Gi-Oh. But
Anyway, I wasn't trying to derail the Pokemon thing, but that's kind of what that reminded me. I was like, no one knew how to play this damn game.
yeah. But that being said, I remember a couple years after it wasn't as popular, I learned how to play the Pokemon TCG. It was a lot of fun. That's one of the games I wanted to play tonight, but it's kind of hard to capture the old school Pokemon TCG that was on Game Boy without doing other stuff.
If we didn't live in the area of Georgia that we live in, it would be cool to actually get to play some local, actual physical cards, and then you get to trade in the QR codes for actual.
The local scene here is actually pretty solid, right?
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Last I checked, it was mostly kids. So.
I mean,
But if it isn't, I mean, I'm down.
Especially in the Macon area. Do you remember Fry, the guy we used to play Smash with all the time? Him, you remember Nick? Leg?
Yeah.
He's one of the better players in the state for Pokemon.
Really?
And he travels, maybe not consistently, but he travels enough for him to be notable in the state. And every time I see him at prime time, where we host our weeklies, Tuesday if you're ever in the Macon area. Every time I see him at prime time, he's like, "When you gonna start playing?" He's like, "As soon as you give me cards, man." He's like, "All right," and then I don't see him again for another month.
It's definitely Chris.
Well, I have spent more than my fair share of money on trading cards. I no longer believe in buying them. I like supporting local scenes, but I do that in my own way, like hosting tournaments and stuff like that. I don't like spending my money. I'm fine with spending your money on stuff, though.
That's how you kill a bone snake.
Yeah,
With
and
another
then
snake.
and then they turn into all the hearts that aren't health.
Should be health.
But that would make sense. I like that there's like the hit stun on them though. That's a nice
Me
touch.
too.
Yeah. and then you can hit their projectile.
Completely useless.
Actually, I don't know if you can do this, but can you use the whip to hit projectiles in Ultimate?
Don't know, actually. Oh, what?
I feel like you can for smaller projectiles. I probably wouldn't try it on like a charge blast or something like that, but
How do I kill that? Go away. Go. Okay.
so
What do I do?
I really like.
You bitch. Damn it.
Was that getting knocked into the water that killed you, or did you run out of HP?
I got knocked into the water.
Oh, I didn't think the water was going to one-shot kill you. How are you supposed to deal with that?
Don't get hit.
All right, Isaiah.
That's the answer. Damn it. Because they usually do that. I was expecting him to jump, and I was going to hit him with a whip, and then he just shot me from the water, sniping. Son of a gun. Damn it. I keep laughing through my nose. It sounds terrible.
I mean, you just keep laughing, too, and not saying anything relevant, but that's a discussion we can have later. Yeah. So,
You're irrelevant.
back to back, where we first started, you still haven't beaten Red or Blue, and it's been re-released how many times?
Well, it just came out again, so. On the Switch.
Actually, I'm kind of sad. We should play that. Like, did you guys get Eevee or Pikachu?
I got Eevee.
Okay. That's probably the one I would buy, too, just because I want to involve my Pikachu.
Yeah, I plan to get around to it eventually, but there's so much crap coming out in the next month, or sorry, this month, that I'm just really excited to play.
Yeah, but those are your like strange indie games, right? Not like
okay, they're not
relevant
that
games.
strange. Oh, shut up. Oh my god. I hate everything in this game. It's just in your way, like that.
Yeah.
It was easy until this level.
So,
but
you just went from a leather whip to like a chain star?
Yeah, it's just like an upgrade that you get from these candles. There's two upgrades. You have base leather whip, which sucks, and I really don't know why it's in the game because the first candle is always an upgrade. And then later on you get the second upgrade, which is just like a longer version of it. It's your forward smash version of it, basically. What? I definitely hit that. What were we talking about? It's so hard to play and talk.
That's the point. That's exactly why I said you get to play games, and I'm just gonna sit here and talk. But let's go, and then.
Yeah, see, there it is.
So, and then your strange indie games that no one actually cares about.
They will.
They will.
Mm-hmm.
So what games are they?
And then one of the so they're both RPGs, and they're both I believe Kickstarter games.
Do
so
they have a big following on Kickstarter, or?
They got funded pretty well. I'd have to go double check on what their funding was though. But one was supposed to come out 2 years ago, but unfortunately it got not again. But unfortunately it got delayed because the people making it were dealing with a personal family issue involving cancer. So they actually just waited on that to release it. And I guess whatever that issue was, hopefully it ended up positive, because I don't wish that on anybody. Hopefully that resolved nicely, but they are releasing it in what's today, 3rd? 14 days. And I've been super excited. It's
do you want to say the name so people know what you're talking about?
Yeah, I was about to say it. So it's called Y2K. It's kind of like
well, you say Y2K, like the year 2000 thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But it's styled with the Roman numeral. So if you Google it, just type like Y-I-I-K. Yeah.
So it's Yick.
Yick. Yick, a postmodern RPG. But it's kind of like if they made Earthbound now. kind of the best way to put it, because it's got its own style.
So
It's definitely
you're gonna get mad at me for what I'm about to say, but this is 100% a joke. So it's Undertale.
No. You know, like, it's funny you say that, because when I played Undertale, I definitely didn't think of Earthbound. Because really, when you put the graphics side by side, I know Earthbound kind of has rough looking graphics, specifically the Super Nintendo one. I don't know what to do about this.
Be a man. Just go down there.
I got a health bar, I guess. It's not losing health I'm afraid of. It's getting knocked out.
Yeah.
But oh, there's that. But yeah, I always thought at first Undertale looked pretty rough. It's not long enough.
That's what she said. Wait, what? But yeah, so
it got better as you played though.
And then just because you played through Undertale, right?
Twice.
All right, so you enjoy the game. Did you get like all the endings or?
No,
okay. How many endings are there?
There's three.
Three.
But they're all connected.
Okay.
I chose because Undertale is a super meta game. So basically, it falls on the player to more or less give the characters their happy ending or not, and they let you know that it's your fault or not. So there's 3 ways to play. There's kind of like a general, like, just kind of do what you feel is necessary way to play.
The way most people would probably play the game, right?
Like when it first came out and no one really knew.
Yeah.
So it looks like an RPG, so you're gonna play it like an RPG.
Yeah.
Kind of deal, and then hopefully find out that there's other things you can do other than just attack. But I definitely did it that way first. And that gets you, I wouldn't say the canon ending, but it lets you know there's more to it. And then there's a pacifist ending where you don't hit or kill anything, and that's where you get like your true happy ending. And then there's the genocide run where you literally have to kill everything in the game. And it's to the point where the random battles, you have to do every random battle in every area until it tells you that there's no more random battles. So you literally kill every NPC in the game, pretty much. And that leads to more stuff. But I chose not to do that because A, it's tedious and boring, and it's meant to be. And 2, I just didn't want to do that to them. I'm not a monster.
Yeah. But so I want to go back to Pokemon because I still can't believe you've never beaten a Pokemon game, and then you own a remake technically of Red and Blue and Kanto, even though there's quote unquote different story elements to it that just happened. So I think we should sit down and like play that. Like, so is the save file on the Switch card, or is it based on like your profile on like your Me or whatever you want to call it on the Switch?
I don't know. I think it's the profile.
Okay.
But Ashley would know.
Alright. So at one point, like
Google knows.
This is already set up. We're gonna do a Let's Play of Let's Go Eevee or
Sure.
Pikachu if I want to buy Pikachu.
Are you gonna do it on yours?
Huh? I mean, we can do it on mine. We can do it on yours. It doesn't matter.
Oh, okay, I didn't know you were.
But like I said, you have to beat it, so you'll be playing. But we can put it on my Switch or your Switch if we have to.
No, that's perfectly fine. It would be nice to beat it, just to say I went through the main first story.
So the other option is one of us buys a 3DS with a capture card, and then we can do like the original Red and Blue run, which that's something I actually want to do because some of the glitches are really fun. Like you can catch Mew in game. It is of course a glitch, but it's really cool to just say, hey, I have Mew in game.
I wonder if you can do Missing No on the re-releases.
I'm pretty sure you can. I'm pretty sure it's a straight re-release because you can do the Mew glitch on there, and the Mew glitch was in the first game. It's just nobody knew about it until like fairly recently.
Okay, all right. But yeah, I'd be down for doing that. I don't know about the 3DS with a capture card though, because those are really expensive.
I mean, it's about the same as the 3DS, and then a capture card.
Yeah, I just don't feel like wanting to drop that.
Well, it's really nice to have if this is something we want to keep doing, like doing a Let's Play / podcast, whatever you want to call this, because this has definitely been more of a Let's Play type situation, even though we've played several different games.
It'll be a future investment.
Yeah, because that opens up a lot of games I wanted to play, like the Pokemon TCG, because I never got to play that on Game Boy when it was a thing, and I love the Pokemon TCG. You just bought your jump. Yeah. And I watched somebody play it on stream fairly recently, and he did not know how to play the game. It was very frustrating. Like, he got a bunch of really good cards, and he's like, "Oh, this looks terrible." And I was like, "Oh, you're breaking my heart, dude."
Was it draw 7 cards?
Yeah.
This looks terrible. What are you talking about?
No, it wasn't necessarily Professor Oak, but like some of the Pokemon. Like, he got Scyther, and it's like, oh, it takes 3 energies. There's no way I'll ever be able to use this, but it was like 3 colors. So I was like, dude. And then he got Hitmonchan. I was like, dude, you can make Haymaker. Haymaker's a great deck. And he just, I think he was just trying to play Charizard, even though Charizard, as much as he's a fan favorite, terrible card in the first set of like Pokemon
So I'm
cards.
not crazy. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember it, not really caring for Charizard.
Because you fire spin and you're like, oh, okay, now I can't attack for like another 3 turns. Now, he'd be alright in like a hybrid deck with, say, something silly like Blastoise to where you could just keep putting energies on him, but I imagine you'd run out of energies pretty fast kind of thing.
They're not going to do it, but it would be kind of cool if Nintendo would make another, like more modern version of that.
You know there's Pokemon TCG Online where you scan the
I know.
QR codes, right?
I
That's
know.
basically what it is.
But like the cool single player experience.
Oh,
you know?
with like the quest and the storyline.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
it was just Pokemon. It was just with cards. You know?
Yeah. The other thing I remember, I wonder if I can still find it, but like, did you ever just see like the starter sets where you get like the fighting deck and then the water deck, and then there was like a CD that taught you how to play, and that's how I learned to play the TCG. Was this little like CD on a computer program that they sold with like the starter sets.
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, and I remember always thinking, because the water deck was definitely way better than the fighting deck because you got Staryu and it had an attack that was base 20 damage, and I was like, man, this is the greatest thing. But Machamp, he just ran through everything, so I would always pick the fighting thing because it's like if I can get to Machamp, I can win. Even though Staryu was apparently a much better starting place.
Look at this. This is ridiculous.
Are you like all the way back here?
I was all the way back there.
Jeez, I haven't even paid attention to how many times you've died. Alright, so how long did you want to go, James? Because
How
we've been
long
going
have we been
for
going?
quite a while. We've been going for about an hour and 17 minutes.
Tell you what, we'll call it at an hour and a half.
Oh, I was going to say, or your
Just-
next death.
Or my next
Because I'd like to get food at some point, because I'm starving.
one.
So,
We'll call it when you're ready to call it, because
Yeah.
it's pretty late.
yeah. And it's, what's the day? Thursday? You got work in the morning, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I would like to get some online Smash in.
I mean, we could do some in-person Smash, too.
No, fuck you.
I mean, there'd probably be better practice, I'm just saying.
Yeah, no, I figured you were ready to leave. But anyway,
I mean, I just have to eat.
I don't know. I don't know how you feel about it, but that's kind of another thing I was thinking about, sort of toying with is and it wouldn't just have to be with Smash. It could be with anything, but basically just kind of like call it like the grind or something, like.
Or, you know, just, well, it's not 4 Glory Battles anymore, is it? What's it? Does it have a name? Is it?
Nope.
Okay. But,
Dang, that was sweet.
I mean, that's a pretty popular thing for Smash streamers, especially, you know, someone like me whose main audience is Smash Brothers, you know, just streaming, you know, the grind for Elite Smash for whatever. It would translate a lot better than, you know, us doing stuff like this, but it could hopefully, you know, lead to something like this.
I didn't even know you could. I don't know why I would think that you couldn't do that with the leather whip, but hey. But yeah, that was an idea that I would like to do, especially as someone who's trying to get better. You know, because because that would be kind of a decent. Well, I think a decent barometer for.
Okay, so it depends on how you do it. 'Cause there's one thing, especially like tournament streams don't do enough, and like locals don't do enough, is we don't build good storylines anymore.
We should do it like pro wrestling.
Yeah, well, it's. I mean, you say that like a joke, but that's not a bad thing. There's a reason pro wrestling has been around for so long. They know what they're doing, and I
all
feel
just
like
acting anyway.
yeah, and I feel like Smash and a lot of like, just games in general that have a large following don't really do a good job of like building rivalries and storylines and stuff like that. So if you you want to grind, I have this stuff set up here. We can come and we can do that at some point, or we can do the fest and stuff. But one of the more popular things for streamers to do, of course, is like viewer battles, because people want to play against
Yeah, I would like.
people. Yeah.
That would be cool too.
So I mean that's something we can set up. Once.
Thank you.
Are you talking to me or the game?
I'm talking to the game. because
Okay.
He shot me into the platform.
Yeah. But so once you get your computer set up and we buy some more equipment, because this stuff is a little pricey sometimes.
Yeah, I bet.
Because ideally I'd like to have two setups. I'd love to have one like just that stays set up, so anytime I want to stream or play a game, I don't have to go through the hassle of setting everything up. And then having my traveling setup for when we go to tournaments. When we go to Primetime Gaming Tuesdays in Macon to stream the tournament. Like, I want to have that and not have to go through the hassle of having to pack everything up and set it up every time. Or if, we go to something bigger like Gwinnett Brawl, January 12th in Duluth at Wasteland Gaming. If we're doing stuff like that, I'm sorry, I'm laughing so hard at just my blatant advertisement.
Shameless plug.
Yeah.
I mean, it's your channel.
Yeah, what am I going to do? Kick myself off? But when we do stuff like that, it'd be, again, nice to know that, I don't have to pack everything up. But, again, having to buy more equipment is always an issue because I don't know if you guys have ever looked into streaming, but, doing it at a certain level does get up there. Like, I hate to bring up price and money, like, on the stream, but I've already brought it up. These headsets we're wearing are, like, $200 to $250 a piece, depending on if you can find them on sale on Amazon. And right now, we're wearing two, and then there's another one, because people used to complain when I go to tournaments that they had no way to get information, like who's playing and what characters or who's who. So I literally bought another headset and a larger mixer. And then this was one of the more expensive mixers, because they had ones that were larger that had the number of channels I needed, but they didn't have the buttons I needed. So on this mixer, there is a button to where I can turn... Like, I can talk to the commentators, but the stream doesn't hear me, so that way I can feed them information without it being jarring to the stream, and that's a really nice thing to have. So I didn't mind upgrading because it's nice to have that, but, everything adds up. It's like, oh, yeah, it's only $100 here or $200 here, but, across 5 or 6 things, you're like, man, I just spent $1,000 on something, and, I'm not getting paid that much from some of these tournaments, and... despite the fact we do have a sub button, we don't get a lot of subs, mainly because of the fact that, that we are a tournament streamer and we only stream like 3 or 4 nights a week as opposed to like the 7 or whatever that other tournament streamers try and do. And it's hard to make, not necessarily a living, just any kind of like return on your investment doing stuff like this. But
So are you kind of looking to make, as far as the channel goes now, more varied content, so that way you have more of an opportunity to grow? I don't know if I'm trying to say grow your audience or...
Yes, absolutely. Because, well, it's nice to, have that niche audience, and that's where I came up, and that's where a lot of my audience expects me to be. Like, Yoda Sensei, who came in, he's like, this isn't Smash, we're the people I'm used to seeing. But, I like being on camera, and I like having conversations like this with you and the chat and people getting to actually know me. Because I feel like a lot of people, like, they know my voice, but they don't know my face, they don't know my personality. All they hear is me yelling at people, hey, we need to play, or what was the score, that kind of stuff. And it's very unfortunate because, again, I do enjoy this stuff. And it's a lot easier to build a brand when you're doing stuff like this, just the hangout streams. We're having conversations, we can talk with the chat. Whereas a lot of times when we're at a tournament, there's very little chat interaction, and it's like you can build a brand like that, but it's hard to stay relevant with that. And just Twitch in general, it's hard to, like, because you constantly have to be on the grind. Like, you see a lot of the top players, like Nairo and Zero, like, they talk a lot. Okay, I was going to say. They talk a lot about, like, not wanting to go to tournaments because if they do, like, their sub counts start to drop, and that's not good for them because that's a large part of their livelihood, which
yeah, that's pretty right.
I feel like sometimes people over-exaggerate that a little bit. I don't feel like if you miss 2 or 3 days, people are actually forgetting you that fast. I feel like, it's just a couple of subs expired and you weren't streaming that day, so they didn't renew it. And the second you start streaming, they're going to come back kind of thing. Because I feel like a lot of times fans are pretty loyal, especially if, you're a well-known personality, unlike me. But, that's why we do stuff like this to build it up. And, like, you look at people like Zero and Nairo, and yeah, they play a lot of Smash Brothers to build up their channel, but they also play a lot of other games because it's very easy to burn out only playing one game kind of thing.
Yeah, and I know I have not formally been a part of the stream. Here and there I show up, but I've always been excited about the idea of just, like, playing what you want.
Yeah.
And just kind of hanging out. And like, there was a time where I was a streamer for a little-known game called Duelist. It was like a trading card game. And, like, the funnest part of it was, I was playing and climbing the ladder, but I was also hanging out with people when I was talking to the community. And it was just a generally positive experience. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, well, that's also the reason, I stream Smash Brothers. Because, the community, it's there, and I do a lot of work with them, and they recognize me and they appreciate me. But it's nice to just be a part of it. But, at the end of the day, it's nice to do something else. Because, I can hang out with my Smash friends, and we can play Smash all the time. But sometimes I just look at them and it's like, hey, man, you want to just do literally anything else other than Smash Brothers?
Yeah.
Because I'm kind of smashed out because we did, 4 tournaments this week, and we've got another 4 next week. Let's do something other than Smash. Like, yeah, it's good to grind, and it's nice to get good, but let's just hang out. Like, how are you as a person kind of thing. But I think it's getting pretty close to a good stopping point. So anything you want to say before we call it a night?
Really, all I have to say is, if anybody has any suggestions on how we can make this more entertaining, make this more interesting, because really, this is just us feeling it out.
Yeah. This is episode 1, pilot.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
And I was the pilot. But like that kind of feedback definitely helps out.
It definitely does.
Like the last podcast I did, people were just like, "Yeah, your episodes are a little too long." It's like,
well, how long did you make them?
okay, they were too long.
well, how long did you make them?
I think because I'm used to listening to long podcasts because of how I listen to them.
Yeah.
I think I was cutting them off at like 2 hours.
Yeah, that can be a little bit great. I mean, we're at like an hour and a half right now, but
I think for most people, about an hour is probably where you want to be because they listen to this stuff on transit. They listen to it maybe while they're doing something at home or whatever,
Yeah.
And people these days especially love to consume content.
Well, the other thing is, I feel like, especially because, we have a video game, like, associated with this, I feel like a lot of times people are used to having content in, like, 15 to 20-minute bursts, and a lot of that is because on YouTube, that's what benefits channels the most, having that content that's short. It's, like, your viewership doesn't fall off, but it's enough to keep you relevant in the algorithm. And long-form content, like anything that's longer than, like, 40 minutes or so, is actually getting to be really bad on YouTube, and it doesn't help. But that's a conversation for another time, because we could go on forever, but I'm going to have to cut off the stream. So appreciate you guys hanging out with us, but we'll be back maybe next week, maybe tomorrow. We're going to be probably doing it like a Smash Fest tomorrow with the locals.
Yeah, tomorrow will be a Smash Fest. We're going to try to make this particular thing like on Thursdays, though.
Hopefully it'll be weekly. It depends on how consistent some people are going to be. I normally don't stream tournaments on Thursday because the only tournament in Georgia right now that happens on Thursday is Smash Code and Recursion streams that, which they should still be streaming. They should be getting into some pretty good matches, so definitely check them out. But that's it for me. I'm Christopher T-Rex Moore. You can follow me at TypoHousePlays. You can, of course, follow us here on Twitch. You can also subscribe to us if you liked what you watch. We mainly do tournament content, so if you like tournament content, you'll definitely see a lot of that. And then, of course, YouTube. I haven't figured out where I'm going to upload this yet. Once I do, I will let you guys know. But anywhere people can find you or anything like that?
Not yet, but eventually.
Not yet. Okay. So he's a ghost. He doesn't exist. But
I have channels, but I don't have a setup.
All right. We'll see you guys. Appreciate you.